There's a wonderful movie that came out. I think Steven Spielberg is probably one of the greatest directors Hollywood's ever produced. That's my personal opinion because I like his movies. Well, he directed a movie called Saving Private Ryan. Now, it's a war movie about World War II when those guys hit Omaha Beach, and man, it was terrible. They were dropping like flies, boy. I mean, the Germans were just killing them and things of that nature. But they had to do something. Well, you know, this is before there was 4 boys named Ryan that were in the service.
Their last name was Ryan.
Yes, and anyway, and 3 of the boys were already killed in different places of the war. So this lady they sent out these letters to the mama that, you know, it's a telegram that your son died, gave his life. Well, this one lady knows that all 3 of them going to one address. Turned out that she has 4 of them. So man, she jumped up and went and talked to General George Marshall in the movie, okay? And he said, find this last boy and get him out of that war zone. Because think about it, this lady's going to receive 3 telegrams that all 3 boys have been killed, not the 4th. And he said, it's just too unbearable. Abraham Lincoln wrote a letter on the supreme sacrifice about, well, when your children die. Watch it. You know, if you've seen the movie, you know it. Well, at the end of the movie, well, they had a bridge, and boy, the Germans are coming in, and there was a captain there, and that was played by Tom Hanks. To make a long story short, what I'm saying was, he gets fatally wounded. So Ryan, who's the last one, he said, earn this, because they gave their lives to him to get him out of there. Okay, now at the end of the movie, Ryan is now an old man, and he goes to the cemetery. Now, I'm coming to a point here, and I want you to listen to me. And I'd like the politicians to hear what I'm about ready to say. All right? Forget about Democrats, Republicans, independents, socialists. Just listen to what I'm saying. So watch it. He goes to the cemetery, and he finds that headstone on that captain that was buried there, and he said, have I earned this? Family. Yeah, have I earned this? Have I done what you
Have I been a good man?
Then his wife came up. She said, he said, tell me that I've been a good man. Have I been right? She said, this is the wife. Now, he's an old man now, see? Yeah, he went to the grave in the Pacific Theater. Tell me that I'm a good man. If you've seen the movie, it really touches your heart.
Or maybe
but he's remembering, he's remembering the last words that captain said, you earn this, and then he dies. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something that Jesse Duplantis does, and Kathy does too. We travel all over the world. There are Americans buried all over the world. Normandy, if you go to Hawaii, to Honolulu, there's called the Punch Bowl, which is kind of like a half crater of a
extinct volcano.
And they have a lot of people who buried there that died in a specific theater.
It's a graveyard.
I've been to Guadalcanal. You know, I've preached all over the world. You know, now, this is what I do. Now, I'm gonna tell you this, and I got this idea from watching the movie Saving Private Ryan. The last time I was in Hawaii preaching, I said, Kathy, let's go to the Punch Bowl and pay our respects to those that have made the supreme sacrifice. I mean, I got to looking at these headstones. Born 1929, died 1941. Well, how old is that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure that person wanted to be a father, a grandfather, you know. So you know what I do? And I don't know these people because I wasn't born during World War II. I was one of the babies after I was born in 1949. I'm 71 years old. You know what I say? And it touches me when I think about it. Because I've been to many of these places where the people made the supreme sacrifice. And you know what I say since I saw that movie? I look at these graves and I said, have I been a good American? I hope I've been a good American. I hope what you died for, that I stand for what you died for, that you gave me freedom. You let me raise a family because you made that supreme sacrifice. You see, and yet most people, they never think about all those people that gave their lives. That's what that, in the movie, he said, have I been a good man? Have I earned this? You see, so I'm tired of everybody fighting everybody. And let me talk to all these CNN and MSNBC and Fox and all these people. Quit calling each other names. That's not being a good American. Now, you can agree to disagree with people. I understand that this is America. Have freedom of speech, do whatever. But I mean, to say these things. There are people in the ground, and you walk around and saying that America's not this and America's not that. You're not a good American. Now, I ain't saying that we're perfect because no nation's perfect. But you know what? When you go to that grave site, people you don't know that died for us, the least you could say is, I've been a good American. You didn't die in vain. Okay, Jesus died. Lord, have I been a good Christian? Am I a good Christian? Am I, Lord? Let the light of God shine out of me. No, none of us are perfect. A lot of people make mistakes. But Jesus died for us. But he rose from the dead and he's coming back to us. I personally believe that with every fiber of my being. And while waiting on him to come, I'm going to be a good Christian. Well, as long as I live, I'm going to be a good American. I don't agree with some of the things that are happening. And you can agree to disagree. But you know what? When the rubber meets the road, when all them people were killed in 9/11, man, it changed people there for a second. Think about all those that died in Pearl Harbor. I mean, have you ever been to Honolulu? You ever been? And look down, there are 1,100 men in that ship.
In the Arizona.
Still down there, 40
there,
feet
right.
down there. That's now become a memorial site, a grave site. And you know what? It was Sunday morning. They were sleeping in, gonna rest and get up and go to church. Yeah, but I don't know. Your grandparents may have, your great-grandparents. What about 1917? What about World War I? The trench warfare, the amount of people that were killed, mutilated, to have a free America. And the Allies came together for freedom. So I ask you today two things. Are you a good American if you're watching? Okay, maybe you're living in France. A lot of Frenchmen died in that war. Are you a good Frenchman? Maybe you live in Moscow, you're a Russian. Are you a good Russian? Think about that for a minute. Now let's go to the spiritual side. Are you a good Christian? I've heard people say I'm a good Catholic. I've heard people say I'm a good Methodist. I've heard people say I'm a good Protestant or a good... No. Are you a good Christian? Let's take it, make it personal. You say, I'll do this and I'll do it for the rest of my life. And I go up to them graves, and my friends that died in Vietnam, I come out the Vietnam era. I went to the Vietnam Wall. Sammy Murph, my friend that I went to school with, his name's on the wall. I got a bunch of them on there. I knew them. I went to school with them. We ate lunch together. Bread rolls, forget about it. Milk. They died. So when I walked to the Vietnam Memorial Wall, Sammy, I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you do. My good American, because you died for me. Don't never forget that, okay? Now unto him who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can possibly ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us. And I leave it with this. That power in us gave us the ability to be good Christians, good Americans. Yes, we got our problems, but if we come together and use the word good, we can fix our problems. We can fix our planet, we can fix everybody, and just do right.